Hey, it's Croc36, and here we are. I'm going to point you to a thread that I think is significant. This is Allied Headquarters. You all know that if you know my channel at all. But if you don't, welcome. This is Allied Headquarters. There was actually a large meeting, and at that meeting, one of the things that occurred was that the world was set. The Allies were set on the gold standard around the U.S. dollar. But there was some sort of agreement. So, anyways, that I take that as the New Hampshire justification for the Allies headquarters. So this is a thread that was put on by Jacob Geo 24, and he collected a bunch of stuff, and he happened to include my stuff. And so I've gotten involved with this thread. Cornwallis has gotten involved. Super Yamamoto Battleship has gotten involved. And then some big names have chimed in, even Andrew A.A. Gamer. And now I got to read his name, Barney. It's a great thread. I really suggest it. I've actually been challenged on relying on the Jabastion, and I think it was Cornwallis actually has proposed a new way of doing Panther Pin this. A new way of handling the British in the Med, which I'm going to give a try to. It's a little more conservative, but I think probably ends up being a little less risky. And I'm certainly looking for, in Operation Rescue, you want to try for reducing risk. So I'm gonna give it a try. Panther again, chime me in there. Arthur Bomber Harris chimed in. Who right now looks like to be the winner and the champion in 2022, although he will tell you that he feels like he got lucky against Andrew A.A. Gamer, but he has done a 50 bid, which is less than the 60, and just right there, Cornwallis saying that he's from Belgium, and he saw the Patriot movie, and he refers to the Algerian snake, which is, I think, a term that I think Gargantuan came up with. So then they had a question about the 20 units in the East, and I think this is a really good question, actually, and let me just address it here. I have a question that pertains to the 20 units in the East. If someone would care to answer and help me figure this out. Andrew A. Gamer claimed and declared in one of his articles in the PDF I made that the best option was to keep all the units in the East. I agree, but what I'm having trouble with is understanding how to position them. Like, should I stack them all in Amur, which I have seen fail, or pull back to Buryatia? I was hoping someone would recommend how to position these troops on R1, what to do with them from then on, as I plan for them to stay in the East. Also, side note, should they receive some support, or should I leave them with what they have? I chimed in just thinking I might have a crack at it. I'll have a crack at it, I say, and have my betters correct it. The 20 units are a live front. They pin a certain number of units in the north, so the objective is to keep them alive long enough that all the airplanes will be out of position, i.e. needed in the south or the east. Then they surge forward and capture Korea or Manchuria, so stepping back the one territory is a simple move to complicate Japan's ambitions. How did I do, teachers? I also responded to a league. I'll leave that for you to read. Andrew A.A. Gamer says, correct Crockett on R1. Any units staying in the Far East need to move to Buryatia so the Japanese can't wipe them out. Then, once the Japanese move too many units away, especially air, you can move back into Amur. The idea is to pin Japanese ground units in Manchuria or Korea to weaken the Jap push into China against China. If Japan gets sloppy, you can either reinforce a U.S. landing in Korea or push into Manchuria, breaking the back of Japan. Normally, no further troops would be sent to assist. Russia is doing all she can to save Moscow from the German hordes. Very good. And then Jacob says he's done more research, And now he wants to know about the Eastern Russians. And so what should be the purchase? I would like to know from whoever is reading this, what is your preferred Russian strategy? Be it aggressive, neutral, conservative. When it comes to playing, what is a good general purpose buy for Russia? For different German openings such as G1, Barbarossa, Sea Lion, or an anticipated G3 or I think it's I2 attack. Andrew answers this, which is awesome. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, I have read some of the articles to be more aggressive. That doesn't work against a solid player. Now, and when Andrew says solid player, by the way, he is talking about the best in the world, okay? So just take that to note that Andrew is the best in 2021 on this site, which is made up of great players. So just take it to note that he's talking about the 1% of the 1%. All the top players built infantry, lots of it. So Germany is going for Sea Lion or building a fleet to contest the Atlantic. Russia should buy either 12 infantry, save 1, 12, 12, 13, conservative, or 11 infantry, 1 artillery, moderate, or 7 infantry, 4 artillery, aggressive. This is the most aggressive you should be until you know if Germany is coming after Moscow, heavy or not. And then I chimed in and said, obviously, I agree. I concur with Andrew. I would say that the position of those units depends on the Germans. If they drop a navy first turn or build all-air to counter Sebastian, that should be punished. If the Russian player is turtling while England is suffering or even being booted out of the game, the German player is playing you for a fool, and turtling back to Moscow is just waiting to die. In a recent BBR game, I made East Poland radioactive by pushing everything to the front. In very rare cases, I, not a championship player, would replace the artillery with mechs placed in Ukraine and Novgorod and planes in Moscow. This is very rare. The German player was doing what I call adventuring in the Atlantic and North Africa. There's thank yous given, and then the interesting thread continues on the next page. And then Jacob says he has a tournament, and his friend has never won. Moscow always falls. And so Barney asks about the tournament, and it's some teenagers, which is just awesome. Great job, guys, really. The main reason for creating this thread, making the Allied Playbook PDF, was to prepare for this tournament, as I haven't played the Allies in a long time, and I have seen so many contrasting, conflicting strategies from so many different people. So I decided to create a playbook of all these ideas, so I could look at them and go over them much more easily, and hopefully develop my own strategy for G40 as the Allies, since I have, the Allies done pretty well. Awesome, Barney says. Would be cool if you do another thread with a game report on how it goes. Where are you guys located? They're located in Connecticut. I have some part of my play group for BBR is in Connecticut. These are old timers, and I'm sure they would love some action. So I will try to connect you with Todd and I mentioned Joe. Todd and Joe, who also play test with Larry Harris. Back and forth, and then Pacifier's board chimes in. May I bounce in with 2 cents? You get a hard time playing Allies out of box without a bid. In my opinion, they are even further handicapped, more than Axis, by playing it as a physical multiplayer board game because of the lack of a battle calculator. I assume so. Needed for solid defensive setup, and because coordination is much more critical for Allies. Thus, my advice are focus on fun and fellowship even more than victory. Agree. Don't let anyone bore out by playing only Russia. Allies should keep it simple, do only overwhelming attacks, and seek their aggressiveness into smart, strong positioning. Overall, secure London, then Moscow, then India and Iraq. Be both flexible and focused. don't lose Gibraltar or Egypt. Have Western Allies planes in Europe that can also be at Moscow in time. And going more into detail, consider if it counters Axis moves and serves your purposes well when you go with planes defending en route. London, A. B. Gibraltar, or B. C. Gibraltar. D. C Zone 99, Crete. E. Moscow. And by the way, UK planes can fly to Moscow within 2 turns if they land on US carriers in 92. Western to Gibraltar, or C Zone 97, which then moves to 99. Have transport. I think he's talking about my, and I did refer this into my video about logistics, about getting planes to Moscow quickly. And I do a whole video, 2 videos, I think, on that actually. I think my alarm's about to go off in 3 minutes. Have transports with ground units with your fleet just there, with your fleets just for creating threats. Absolutely agree. I personally indeed found for playing the physical game board without usual bidding that a great but easy tweak is starting the game with France turn 0. This is my France goes first strategy. Allowedly, this severely impacts German opening and default strategies, but is adding a nice portion of balance is in both odds and initiative. Last but not least, I like tech. Also, great comments when casually playing face to face. This is offering an interesting way to deal with different levels of skills too. Agree on the number of free tech roles granted to the supposedly weaker player or players. Awesome. Love this comment. Why didn't I like it? And then Barney says that nice. I think I'll add it as a AAA option for those that play digitally. At least I think I can. I got to add a like to that. Crockett, and then Pacifier Board responded. Crockett had thought of it in Global 40, one rule to balance it, one rule to find them all, and in the darkness bind them. And then I responded, thank you for the mentions. That is a great thread, and lots of big names chimed in on my WhatsApp. I believe I read that thread on my YouTube channel. I have several games of France Goes First on my channel as well. It is fun, though by the 3rd time, the Axis players were ready for it and neutralized the advantage by turn 2. Still, by that time, Japan had spent itself on a gambit and was on its way down, down, down. I also have a Russia for Dummies, which is a basic turtle. I believe you end up with around 93 to 100 troops in Moscow, and I forget who the genius was who said, don't lose Moscow cheaply. I really appreciate your comments to these young men on how to enjoy this game. Technology is definitely an undiscovered country for many here, and it does add so much to the game from variety to historicity. But I digress into an old rant. As in life, we need new blood, and this hobby is really a good hobby, grounding the next generation in the courage of the greatest generation. I fear they may need it. All right, well, that is a thread that I really enjoy, and I hope you enjoy it too. This is Croc 36 out. Oh, wait. I am actually going to see if we can go right over. Oh, there's to YouTube. Never pay attention to. Okay. I want to see if I can go over to YouTube and go to my videos and see if I can search for the turtle. Let's see here. Go to home, live. You. There it is. I think they changed this. My wife likes Court TV. All right. And not watch later. I'm talking about my channel. Okay. All right, let's go over here. Sorry, guys. Wasting your time here. YouTube Studio. Huh. All right. Content. Can I search content? Oh, search across your channel. There it is. Okay, let's search under Russia for Dummies. Yep, here it is. On April 22nd, 2020, I created this. Okay, there's Russia for Dummies. Obviously, video quality is not great there. Should redo that with my redo that now. And then I could also show you logistics. And there is logistics part 1 and part 2, December 20. December 20. And then let's see if I can do one rule. Balancing G40 with one rule. There it is. All right. So all those, one rule, balance G40 with one rule, go. And then Russia, yes, there you go. Russia for Dummies and Logistics 1 and 2. They were sort of mentioned in the article previous. All right, that's Croc 36 out.